Hi, it's Summer and welcome to my Flowerathon reading vlog. This is a 72-hour readathon hosted by my friend Rachel from Happy Go Lovely Sleeves, and it's basically just a readathon where you're supposed to read books that have flowers on the cover, or like plants or nature, stuff like that. It actually officially starts tomorrow on Rachel's birthday, so it's gonna be so fun to be able to like celebrate her birthday with her. She's gonna be doing reading sprints on her channel like pretty much all day, so I'm gonna be hopping on those at some point. I've been so excited about this readathon and I just really wanted to get started early, so that's why I'm starting today instead of tomorrow. I just wanted an extra day, and I've actually already been reading 2 of the books on my TBR, so I actually have some thoughts that I can share with you. Before I get into my TBR and the books and stuff, I had to show you my tattoo, which was another reason that I wanted to start this video a day early, was because I was getting my tattoo today, and it has to do with one of the books that I'm reading, so it all just like fits perfectly. But you already saw the tattoo footage. This is a really weird angle, but this is how she looks. I'm obsessed with it. It's a Throne of Glass tattoo. It just says "to whatever end," which is a quote between 2 of the main characters in like the second half of the series. I actually got this one matching with my cousin Allie, so it's our like bestie soulmate tattoo, and I just love it. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and so is she. It's just so like thin and dainty and exactly what I wanted, and it really didn't hurt like at all. I think that I would maybe give it like a 1 or a 2 on the pain scale. It didn't really hurt, it just kind of felt uncomfy, you know, but I mean it only took her maybe like 15 minutes, so it was pretty quick. It's basically just like my entire personality now. I'm like, wow, I'm tatted, I'm so cool. I'm a different person now. Anyway, so it was kind of perfect that I was getting this tattoo during this vlog because I am currently reading Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas. I own this one in hardcover, but it's not the new cover. And the new cover is the one with some trees on it. I don't know if that's focusing, but there are some trees and leaves and stuff. But instead of reading my hardcover that I already have, I had a Kindle credit, so I used it on this so that I could read it on here because I've just been loving reading on my Kindle lately. I feel like I read so much faster, it's so convenient. It's so much easier at night to just like read a few chapters on here than like look through TikTok. So I feel like I've been getting a lot more reading done. I'm just really enjoying the reading experience on my Kindle with this series. And it's been a long time since I've read this, but if I'm remembering right, there's a lot of stuff in this book that changes the feel of the series. And also the characters that have to do with my tattoo are in this book. We also meet Manon for the first time in this book, and she is one of my favorite characters. So I'm just having a great time. I read some of this last night in preparation for my tattoo. Allie's actually rereading it right now too. We wanted to be in the Throne of Glass mindset before our tattoos. And I think she's actually like pretty much at the same spot in this book as I am. So that's kind of fun. Right now I'm on chapter 10. It says that I have 13 hours left in the book. So I have a minute. This one's a little bit bigger, but I feel like I'm getting through this one fairly quickly and I'm just having a really fun time. So I'm excited to continue with this one. I'm also listening to the audiobook for Rules for Visiting by Jessica Francis Kane. I'm obsessed with this cover. It is so pretty. I'm not gonna lie, it's the main reason that I picked it up like literally years ago, I think in 2018 or 19, and I have not picked it up. I didn't know what it was about. I'm reading the blurbs on the back, and Emily St. John Mandel blurbed it and said, "An elegant and deeply moving meditation on friendship, family, and life on Earth. Rules for Visiting is a wonderful novel." I've been really enjoying the audiobook so far. This is like a literary fiction book, and it's mainly focusing on like friendship, also plants. The inside flap says, "At 40, May Attaway is more at home with plants than people. She's a landscaper for a local university, and she is kind of like granted some time off. With this time off from work, she decides that she wants to spend it trying to reconnect with some of her friends, I think 4 of them. I just barely got to that part in the book where she has been granted this time off kind of as like a reward or a prize for something. I feel like each chapter is kind of structured around a type of plant, and it's kind of like almost kind of a vignette kind of situation. Like the story's moving along in chronological order, but it's just kind of like little snippets and scenes of her life. I feel like because she's so introverted, she's also a fairly relatable character too. Just like most literary fiction, this is definitely more like character focused than plot heavy, and I like that so far, and I'm also just really liking the vibes of everything. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to really say about it right now. I think I'm about this far through, so not quite halfway, but a pretty good dent for it just being like this early on in the readathon. And then the other book that I want to read is And Yet by Kate Baer. It's a book of poetry, and this one was gifted to me by my friend Zoe, but I'm pretty sure this is just poetry on like being a woman. And the cover is beautiful, definitely like perfect for this readathon. And then the last book that I want to read I also have on audio, and it's called Wayward. It's by Amelia Hart. I'm obsessed with this cover. I'm really hoping that I like the book so that I can buy a physical copy for myself to have on my shelves. I kind of want to go into this one without knowing too much, but the genre tags for this one are historical fiction, fantasy, magical realism, witches, paranormal. So those buzzwords paired with this cover, I think it's going to be a very good time. I just like can't stop looking at this. It like doesn't feel real. Getting this was really my only like plan for the day, so we don't have anything else going on. So I think that I'm just gonna go lay in bed and read Air of Fire for a little bit. I hope that my car is not too loud, but I just wanted to do an update really quick. I'm about to go and run some errands. I need to return these to UPS or to Amazon through UPS. I got them to be a microphone and earbuds for my computer so that I can start hosting reading sprints, but they didn't work. So I need to return them. And I think while I'm out, I might also go to Target. It's a last ditch effort to get Easter candy before it's all sold out this weekend. But I just barely got done doing sprints on Rachel's channel. It was so much fun. I think I was there for about like 3 hours, and I might hop back on after I run errands and do dinner and stuff. It was so fun though. I was reading Air of Fire, and there are surprisingly a lot of people reading Air of Fire right now, and we're all like almost kind of like in the same spot. It's super funny. There have been so many like creepy encounters happening. I feel like I definitely prefer 2 of the points of view more than some of the other ones. I literally almost cried when we met Abraxos. I would die for Abraxos. I love him. Anyway, it's just the best. I loved talking to everybody on sprints. It's been so much fun. If I don't hop on like in person to do the sprints, I will for sure at least be there in the comments and stuff later tonight because I do want to keep reading. While I'm driving around running errands and stuff though, I think I'm going to keep listening to Rules for Visiting. I made it a little ways more into it last night when I was making dinner, but she's officially visiting her first friend. It's a little bit awkward, and I'm seeing where this book gets its name from because she's kind of like going through the rules for visiting with us, like how to be a good guest kind of a thing, and it's really interesting. And I don't know, I don't really know like if there's really a point to this book other than just kind of showing you friendship relationships and stuff. So it's definitely, I've already said this, but it's not plot heavy. So I don't know, I'm still having a good time, moving a little bit slow, but I'm liking the writing style, and I like all of the kind of like little facts and tidbits that we're getting every few chapters. And I am definitely interested in learning more about the main character's mom, because we're slowly kind of chipping away at like her memories from childhood and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna turn that on, and maybe I'll film a little bit of my Target trip. Okay, we're back in my car. I'm actually in my driveway, so I just got home from running errands and stuff. I thought I would do a quick little haul with you. I still for some reason feel weird vlogging in front of Travis, and he's home on the weekends, so there might be a lot of car updates in this video. Because it's right next to me, I'm gonna show you what I got from Five Below. I don't go in there very often because my Five Below is like super small. They don't really have a whole lot, but I went in this time on the off chance that they had Squishmallows, because they never have Squishmallows. I got this little strawberry jam squishmallow. I always rename my squishmallows, so I need to think of a cute one for her. But I just love strawberries and she is just adorable. And then I went to Michael's. I got a picture frame because I have a print in my bathroom that I thrifted that's still in its thrifted frame and it's not cute. So I just wanted a nice simple glass frame. And then I also got this paintbrush. It's a really thin brush and I got it to do nail art on my nails because I'm starting to do kind of like longer fake nails, which also brings me to this Amazon order that I just got. It's a Flash Cure UV light for putting your nails on. The glue is supposed to get here tomorrow, so once everything gets here I'm going to redo my nails because these ones are getting a little bit gross looking and they keep popping off because I just like used nail glue to put these on instead of like the UV nail glue, which I've heard is way better. Got this, and then I also got some stuff from Target. You can kind of see it in my back seat right there, but I got another case of Dr. Pepper Zero Strawberries and Cream because it is my fave. It's so good. I also got some candy. They still had Reese's eggs, thank God. They had a bunch of them, so that was really good. I feel like usually they're all gone by now. I also got mascara because my current one is getting kind of gross. And then I decided to get this. I've never gotten one of these. It's like a mystery squad one where you don't know which one you're gonna get. These ones are scented though, so I'm pretty sure I know what one I'm gonna get. And I'm glad that they're scented because there were only 2 of these and the other one smelled like mint, so I'm positive it was going to be this like little mint ice cream, which is cute, but I really wanted the pink macaron. And this one smells like strawberry, so I think it's gonna be the pink macaron. Let's open it though. Cute! Okay, it is the macaron and she is like literally so cute. I don't really like the squishmallows that have this type of eye, but she's like so cute that I don't even care. The strawberry smell is a little bit much, so I hope that that goes away eventually. So I got 2 strawberry squishes today and I'm very happy about it. Anyway, that is everything that I got. Also, I wanted to give an update on my audiobook. I am 61% of the way through Rules for Visiting. She has visited another friend by now. It felt like kind of like a shorter chapter or like a shorter visit. I'm pretty sure it was probably the same length as the other friend, but we didn't hear a bunch about it. It was a lot more awkward than the first one. This book surprisingly has a lot to say about social media, which I think is interesting. There was just barely kind of a quote about that it's rare to have a friend who can feel comfortable enough around you to not be their like social media self around you. Also, one of the other things that I've been meaning to say about the main character is that she really likes words and language and kind of like learning the meaning behind words and like where like they originate from. And it's really interesting and I like hearing those things. And there are just more and more plants and I think that it's just perfect for this readathon. I'm pretty sure I've already said that. I love plants, not as much as the main character does, but I like hearing about them in this book. There's this kind of like term that the main character has kind of made and it's called a fortnight friend. And she's kind of referring back to like, I don't know, the old times, like Regency era, where if you wanted to visit a friend, you had to travel quite a ways. So to make the trip kind of more worth it and stuff, you would usually stay with them for a fortnight, which I guess is like 2 weeks. And so she was kind of saying that like a fortnight friend is somebody who not only is like excited to spend time with you and stuff, like they would keep you at their house for 2 weeks. Because it is a lot to host somebody for that long, even if you're close friends with them. So I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a funny conversation about like having a fortnight friend and having someone who would do that for you and want to spend that much time with you, or at least be okay with spending that much time with you. This book has been kind of fun to read right now in my life because I've been in the last year or so kind of like focusing a little bit more on my friendships and also just making a bunch of new friends like on booktube and stuff. Like I just feel so close to so many people that I've met on the internet and it is the coolest thing. Like I love that I have friends that I talk to like every day on Marco Polo or on Instagram comments. I'm actually about to go and visit some friends next week. So I don't know, this book is just fun to read right now because I just am so thankful for all of my amazing friendships that I have, especially like in this time of my life. I feel like having friends is so important and it's fun to read a book that's like about friendship. So yeah, I'm still really liking it. I will probably keep listening to it while I make dinner. I wasn't planning on filming a clip right now, so excuse how I look right now. I just barely took off my nails, so I'm about to redo them, but I just barely finished Rules for Visiting. I really wish that I would have read this physically so that I could have been like highlighting quotes and stuff, because there are a lot of really beautiful quotes, and I'm probably just gonna have to like look some up afterwards. The very last bit of the book are the actual rules for visiting that she has kind of like learned and accumulated through visiting her friends. And the last line is, "May you settle and find good friends." I'm on my period, so I feel like I'm like extra emotional, but I just thought that was a really nice thing to wish someone. Like, may you settle. When I think of like settling like in a good way, like I think of may you feel peaceful, that kind of a thing. And then may you find good friends. Like, just what a sweet thing to wish someone. And this book really just made me so thankful for my friends. I am not gonna cry on camera. Okay. I also just read the dedication, and it says, "For Rachel, Rebecca, Lori, Heidi, and Sharon, my original Fortnite friends." Also, there are a lot of like quotes about friends from different works of literature and stuff throughout this book. The first one is from Virginia Woolf. I won't read the whole entire quote, but the last line of it says, "Some people go to priests, others to poetry. I to my friends." But I just love about this book that the main character is obviously having a hard time in the beginning, and she's a little bit of a recluse, and through visiting her friends she starts to kind of let go of some of her trauma and kind of be happier and stuff. And I just really connected to that. I really relied a lot on my friends for the last little bit because I couldn't always turn to family, and I don't know, I just related a lot to that about this book. And I love how you just start to get through the layers of this main character throughout the book, because she starts to feel like she can give you a little bit more because she's feeling supported from her friends and stuff. But yeah, this was the perfect thing to read for Flowerathon because it is very plant-based, plant-heavy, and also I just love the themes of friendship, especially with me getting a tattoo with my best friend slash cousin. But I really liked this, and I think it'll stick with me for a long time. Anyway, I'm going to start doing my nails now.
Messy hole.
Okay, so my camera died, so I wasn't able to really film too much of me putting the nails on, but I ran out of time to like paint them and make them look cute, but I at least have them on and like shaped and stuff. I don't remember if I've said this anywhere in the vlog so far, but I'm actually on my way to my grandparents' house because we're doing like an early Easter celebration type thing. There's going to be dinner, games, and we're also going to be decorating Easter eggs. Whenever we decorate eggs at my grandparents' house, we do what's called red root Easter eggs, but it's really fun because it's like basically like naturally decorating your egg. You dig up this root and you boil it, and it turns the water this like red maroon color, and then you wrap an egg in all kinds of like flowers and leaves and stuff like that, and then you boil it in the red root water, and then it changes the egg different colors depending on what kinds of flowers you put on it. It's really pretty. It's really fun because it's always kind of a surprise, because you could put like a purple flower on the egg and then it could turn that spot on the egg yellow instead of purple. And it's literally so perfect for Flowerathon, so I'm definitely going to try to get some clips while I'm there. But anyway, that's where I'm going now. I'm really excited to hang out with family and stuff. Happy Easter! Travis and I are going to do a picnic today, so I'm going to the grocery store to get some fun food for it. It's a few days after the readathon has ended. I feel like this is becoming a pattern of me catching up like days later after readathons are over. But I did end up finishing almost all of the books on my TBR. So I just wanted to go over them with you. The last thing that you saw me read was And Yet. I read this during the picnic that Travis and I did on Sunday. It's a really short poetry collection. It's only about 100 pages. I stayed outside after the picnic and just read this out there. The weather was so perfect. It was just the best time. And I really, really enjoyed this poetry collection. The last collection of poetry that I read was by Nikita Gill, Your Soul is a River. My main complaint with that book was that everything was very surface level and very repetitive. And I was really hoping that this collection wouldn't be like that one, and it wasn't. So I'm very happy about that. This book definitely repeatedly talks about the same like themes and stuff like that, but each poem is done differently enough and takes like a slightly different angle on the subject that it doesn't feel like it's repetitive. And this book is definitely not surface level. You have to kind of like dig a little bit and think a little bit harder than usual about all of the poems to like really fully understand it. There's a lot that I still don't fully understand. This is definitely one where you'll want to just make sure you have enough time to like sit down and fully kind of soak in everything that this has to say. The themes in this book are very like feminist, motherhood, being a woman, misogyny, diet culture, marriage. There are quite a few poems on like the pandemic and stuff like that. Just a lot of great things. There were a few that I couldn't relate to as much, like the motherhood ones. And I'm really looking forward to maybe revisiting this in a few years when I hopefully do have kids. I remember on Sunday when I was reading this, I was trying to like get clips of each poem that I really liked. And then I eventually just had to stop doing it because I had like a million clips of poems and stuff like that. So there was just a lot of really good stuff in here. The author was very kind of like cheeky in a lot of the poems. And I thought that the way that she wrote a lot of these poems was like super creative. Like this one is one of the first poems. It's called How to Be Happy. And it's labeled as like 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're each separate. But it's like the last line on number 1 connects to the first line on number 2. So it's a continual poem, but it's kind of broken up. But then even if you read them each broken up into their own number, they make sense on their own too. So it works like 2 different ways, if that makes sense. And there were a few poems that were like that. There was one on social media that was kind of formatted like that. This was just a really great collection, and I'm really glad that I read it. And then the book that I didn't even get a chance to talk to you about because I was just like listening to it and didn't really have a chance to like talk to the camera about it, it was Wayward. I finished this like just barely after the readathon was over. I finished it on Monday sometime, and I had like the hardest time reading this book. This one follows like generational trauma. Basically it follows 3 different women in different time periods. There's one woman who is back like during the witch trials, and then her ancestor Violet is like during like World War II, I think. And then her great niece, I forgot her name already, but she lives kind of more like current time. And each of them just deals with so much. This book was so incredibly sad and hard to read, and I was not expecting that going into it. I was just expecting a kind of fun, like generational, like witch kind of story. Like cottagecore, maybe not too serious, but like cottagecore, yes, but like it was really dark and really heavy. And usually I can handle that, but it was almost too much for me. Like each of the women is just dealing with like some of the hardest things that a person could ever go through. So please, please, please just check trigger warnings before you go into it if you decide to. At like the halfway point of this book, I was like, I'm not having a fun time. Like this is just depressing. But I was also enjoying the writing. I was enjoying like the way that the book was written as far as like doing multiple points of view with these different women in the Wayward family. I finally this morning decided on a rating for this book and wrote my Goodreads review. And I said, did I enjoy my time reading this book? No. But is it a good book? Yes. Because like overall when I was done, I was like, man, that was a lot, but it was a really good book. It's not a new all-time favorite or anything, but it's one that I have definitely just been like repeatedly thinking about all the time. These characters felt really real to me because I went through so many things with them. And I did really enjoy the book overall. So I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. I think you just really have to be in the right headspace to read this. And you just have to, like I said, look into trigger warnings and stuff. I would say for this one, if you like sad books that are still hopeful, if you like feminist themes and light witchy stuff and like cottagecore vibes, I think this would be a good one for you. And then also, just as a little Air of Fire update, I figured I would show you my actual hardcover instead of my Kindle this time. My Kindle says that I only have like an hour and a half left, I think. I read more of it last night. I actually stayed up pretty late reading it last night. I think I was up till like 3 a.m. because it's just getting so good. I didn't put any pressure on myself to read, like to finish this book during the readathon. I really only wanted to focus on those other books and like finish them within the time period. I wanted to kind of like take my time with this one. And it's been so hard because I've just wanted to like keep reading this one, but I also just want to like stretch it out and enjoy it for as long as possible. There's just so much that I've forgotten about. In a few ways, it's felt like I've been reading this for the first time. And also last night when I was reading, the line "It Ends With Us" came up for the first time and it made me so happy. So yeah, I won't be finishing this on camera with you, but just know that I'm probably going to finish this tonight, and it's already, I know it's gonna be 5 stars. I love it so much. So these 3 plus Wayward were the books that I read for the readathon. I loved this readathon so much. I just had the absolute best time, and I like pretty much loved everything that I read. So very successful readathon. Thank you so much for spending the weekend with me. If you participated in Flowerathon, let me know in the comments what your favorite book that you read was, and I will just see you in the next one.